My name is HistoryWes and welcome back to Manacraft. First thing I'm going to do today is show you the quickest way to get experience, because I've just been mining in the nether. Move that torch and maybe this one, put it up on the wall instead. I've been mining in the nether for nether quartz, and that is the fastest way to gain experience. And you can see in my inventory here, I've got 5.5 stacks of nether quartz ore. And that didn't even take me very long, maybe a half an hour of mining, and I didn't mine any place that was difficult. I didn't pillar up more than 5 blocks to get at anything. So, first thing I'm going to do is set this chest here and drop some stuff in it. Now, I picked up some glowstone too, just because it was handy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip down here real quick, because I want to use this experience to recharge my tools here. You can see my armor has mending, but it's all fully charged, and I don't want any experience being wasted on those. So, and that is also why I brought it back in ore form rather than just digging it out with my regular pick. Now, if you want to just get experience for the purposes of crafting, you can go ahead and dig it with a regular pick right in the nether. But here we want to use it for recharging our weapons. Alright. So, first and foremost, my two tools, my two pickaxes. So I'm going to put my silk pickaxe in my offhand, and then I can hit it with my regular pickaxe, and all the experience will go right to those two tools. And you can see how in my offhand there, that silk pickaxe bobs up and down as it picks up each experience and mends itself. And of course, the same thing is happening to the pickaxe that is chopping the quartz too. Alright, plus we're going to be able to use all this quartz in builds and in redstone. Okay. Gotta make sure none of it gets wasted here. Pick it up. Yep. Alright, our pickaxes are already looking better. They're both into the green. They were both into the yellow before. Go ahead and lay out all of this quartz. I'm in my second floor room down below my base, which is a room that I haven't decided what I'm going to do with. So guess what? It's now my ore breaking room. Alright. And I missed a couple holes there, but that's okay. Alright. So here we go. And we'll keep an eye on our offhand pick, because we want to stop when it is repaired so we can repair our other tools. And you can see our regular pick, which is the one breaking the ore, is almost completely repaired. Now when you're using this and you're mending, it means less of this experience is going to your enchantment levels. Like I said, if you want that to happen and you want all that experience to go to your enchantment levels, make sure you take off your mending tools and mending armor. Alright, I kind of thought that would repair our pickaxes completely, and we're almost completely repaired, but it's okay because we've got more. Now, if you have a really good mob farm, of course, this it becomes unnecessary, really. But waste not, want not, as far as experience is concerned. Pigman Gold Farm, probably the best experience gatherer, with the possible exception of an Ender maybe. And both of those are mid to late game farms, usually, unless you're Tango Tech or Zoom or somebody like that. Alright, oh, our main pickaxe is completely repaired. And it'll stay repaired because we're still picking up more experience. Alright, there. Our offhand pickaxe is completely done. So our second most used thing that we want to repair is our shovel. You got to make sure that the item you're trying to repair has mending on it. And here we go. Again, you can see the shovel bobbing up and down every time it picks up a piece of experience. And it's repaired. The axe we don't have mending on, so we will go right to our spade, which is our shovel that has soak touch on it. And it is repaired. And so the only thing left is our sword. And that should be easily repaired by the time we're done here. We're very close anyway. Completely repaired. There we go. Now we are ready to roll. Okay, I don't know if you noticed there, but even though I wasn't after experience, my experience level went up from 16 to about 24. Now I am far away, about 6,000 blocks from my base, and I am here, of course, for this right here, the terracotta. And I think that the regular terracotta is going to be a great choice to match the palette of my base with oak wood and mushroom blocks. And so I've come all this way to get it. And yes, you can bake clay, but yeah, getting that much clay is a pain. So I've come here and I've got it. And I'm only getting the regular one because that's going to be the one I'm going to use the most, plain terracotta. But I will be dyeing some if I need to. Anyway, since we're still early game, I don't have any shulker boxes. I can only carry an inventory full, and I've just about got that now. More than an inventory full, I guess. I need to get rid of a few extra pieces of stuff that I don't need and head back home. I do need this bed though, because I'm going to need to sleep. It's 6,000 blocks away. It takes about 2 Minecraft days to make that distance. And what do I not need? I do need a boat. I guess I'll get rid of this bucket of water, but because I've got more. Alright, and we're heading south, which means first we're going through the desert. And I apologize for the statistics up on the screen. They're there so I don't go off course, but I don't know about you, but I find it very easy to get turned around in Minecraft worlds when I'm traveling long distances if I don't have some regular landmarks. Anyway, maybe you can learn something from them. You can see our location, 4,500 by roughly negative 3,800. So we're a long way from our base and a long way from spawn. And there's like a zillion things along the way that I would love to pick up, like flowers and wool and some pork and some wood, because I've got no wood at the base. But again, no way to carry all that extra stuff, no shulker boxes. So we'll just make our way home. And we've passed through a little bit of plains and then back into a little bit of desert. See, I'd take that squid right there and I would use that black ink. But I do have a few squid bladders, which reminds me I need to dye some sheep black. Okay. Now we leave our desert and suddenly we are in a plateau biome. Mountains now. And I have a fondness for this biome because it's where my very first game started. So, okay, the sun's getting low. Hopefully we are about halfway. Probably a little less than halfway, but we're going to sleep, preferably where we won't fall in a big hole. And wouldn't it be nice to grab some of the exposed resources like that coal back there and some iron? But no. Or for that matter, how about harvesting a bunch of this birch? Alright, nice birch forest, big one. And a savanna beyond. We are playing on a regular Minecraft world and it is set on normal. So there's our beautiful sunset over the savanna. I cannot wait for ostriches. I've wanted to ride an ostrich ever since I was a little kid and watched the, I think it was the 1962 version of Swiss Family Robinson. That's the color version. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus streaming service. You should definitely watch it if you have that. It's one of the great all-time family movies. Alright, here we are going through birch forest, and just beyond I can see we've got some dark forest coming up. I know that because we came this way. There's a bunch of roses. That would be great red dye if I had the room to carry it. Alright. Since we're talking about things to see, if you have Netflix, watch an anime series called Violet Evergarden. It's fantastic. It will change your life. Here we are going through our dark oak, which is bordering our birch. It's kind of interspersed here, birch, dark oak, and oak all together. There's some llamas and some chickens. Yep, Violet Evergarden. Great show. There's season 1, then there's a special, and then there's a movie. And you watch them in that order. Season 1, then the special, then the movie. And apparently they're making a season 2. It's made by Kyoto Animation, who is like next to Studio Ghibli, my favorite. They also did some great movies like Your Name and A Silent Voice. Silent Voice is also on Netflix right now. You should watch that. Alright, here we are at the ocean. And there's this boat, which took up a whole slot. Seems like a waste. That's okay. We're lucky that a good portion of this journey is by boat. So there's that. Okay, we're jumping ahead a little bit, and ice spikes. Yeah, speaking of things that I could harvest and use, tons of free ice. The good news is we are only, let's see, what, 1,000 blocks, maybe 1,500 away from the base at this point. Come back your boat, we need you. Okay, we've got to cross a little savanna. Interestingly enough, this particular stretch of land going directly north like this, not in line with any villages. It's just as well because I don't have any room for any pillaging, any plunder. That's the word I'm looking for. And don't want to fall in any ravines. And here's a little lake, which would be the perfect place to harvest some clay. But again, I've got terracotta. It's just much easier to get the terracotta. If you've got a soak touch pickaxe, you can harvest clay blocks, but then you still got to put them through the smelter to turn them into what they used to call hardened clay, but now we call terracotta. A nice sunflower plain. The only thing wrong with sunflowers in Minecraft is they don't follow the sun. They just point east, but you know, I get it. Oh, there's a hole. I wouldn't want to have to program all those flowers turning their heads, and I imagine that would be a nightmare as far as drag on your computer. Alright, back in our boat. There were tons of things to see and explore between the Badlands biome and my base. And shipwreck over there. I'm kind of saddened by Mojang reducing the number of ships. There's a shipwreck ahead. Reducing the number of shipwrecks in 1.16. I hope they don't reduce them too much. I don't think they really add that much to the game as far as plunder, but they definitely add a lot to the game as far as flavor, because they give you the impression that it wasn't that long ago that there was a thriving villager civilization that managed to use ships. I mentioned this before. I have the idea that a long time ago there was the builders civilization. They're the ones who left the ocean monuments and the strongholds, and they look like us. They look like Steve. But more recently, there was a villager civilization. They rose and evolved into the creatures that they are, and developed their own civilization. But it's kind of collapsed, as evidenced by the fact that they just have little villages now. But you can see the shipwrecks down below. There's a drowned village. Yeah, so the shipwrecks could not date way back to the builder civilization because they would be rotted away. And these shipwrecks all look like they sank fairly recently because you can use the wood. And there, appearing in the distance, is our mushroom island. Of our base, Portobello. And I think we can sail right into this harbor here. We should start to see some stuff. Yep, there's our villager farms. We see some bamboo sticking up. So we are home. Back safe and sound. Or as I always told my kids when we arrived back home, home again, jiggity jog. And that's it. Thanks for joining me, and keep on Minecrafting.